Hi everyone! Welcome back to the Fairytale Verification Project. Today we're going to be learning the story of Little Red Riding Hood. So without further ado, let's get started. Once upon a time, in a land far, far away, there was a village. And in that village there lived a little girl and her mother. Everyone in the village loved the little girl very, very much, but for some reason no one seemed to know her real name. They all called her Little Red Riding Hood because everywhere she went, she wore a little red riding hood. Secretly, Little Red Riding Hood hated this nickname. She didn't understand what was so hard to remember about the name Harriet. And that wasn't the only problem. Mom! I'm home! Oh my God! Who are you and what do you want? Mom, I'm home. Oh my God! Hi, honey! Where did you come from? Oh my God, that's so weird. I did not see you get here at all. There was a stranger here who I didn't recognize a second ago. I didn't see her leave. I'm very confused about what is happening right now. My name is Harriet, and what sort of mother are you? You can't even recognize your own daughter if I'm not wearing this stupid cape! It was true. For some reason, no one could recognize Little Red Riding Hood if she wasn't wearing her little red riding hood. It was as if the only aspect of her identity that distinguished her from the rest of humanity was a single article of clothing. One day, Little Red Riding Hood's mother handed her a basket full of cake and wine for her to take to her grandmother, who lived in a cottage on the other side of the deep, dark forest. And remember, do not go off the forest path. Actually, I was thinking I'd just walk along the river instead. It is such a nice day out. Completely unacceptable! What if you slip and fall? Go through the forest. Walk quickly. Walk quietly. Do not talk to anyone. Do not pause. I cannot emphasize that enough, Little Red Riding Hood. Do not stop, no matter what. What if my shoe is untied? Can I stop to tie my shoe? No, I mean it, Little Red Riding Hood. No matter what happens, do not stop. I don't care if the sky explodes and the stars are raining down. No matter what, just keep walking. Do not stop. Little Red Riding Hood was feeling really resentful of her mother as she went into the woods, which was sort of understandable. It's kind of hard not to take it personally when your own mother can't remember your real name. She had only been walking for a few minutes when suddenly a talking wolf appeared and began to follow her. Hello, Little Red Riding Hood. My name is Harriet. Where are you going, Little Red Riding Hood? Red considered just ignoring the suspicious talking wolf, but then she remembered that her mother had specifically ordered her to not speak to anyone. All of a sudden, the wolf seemed a lot less creepy and a lot more interesting. I'm taking some cake and wine to my grandma because she's got a cold, and there's nothing better when you've got a cold than cheesecake and alcohol. The wolf politely agreed, but all the while he was plotting. I've been planning to eat the grandmother for like a week now, but I'd also really like to eat this plump young thing. I suppose I could just attack Little Red Riding Hood right here, right now, savage her, devour her, head over to the grandmother's house, break in, devour her, eat everything in the pantry, then maybe afterwards stop at the woodcutter's cabin, eat everything in his pantry, and if he's there, could eat him too. But where's the fun in that, No, I'd much rather concoct an elaborate scheme that involves a clever disguise. You see, dear viewers, this wolf was not just a crazy talking wolf. He was a crazy talking wolf with an eating disorder. His wolf friends had been trying to get him to go to an Overeaters Anonymous meeting for ages, but he kept on insisting that he could get his appetite under control any time he wanted. His friends had watched helplessly as he just ate more and more until finally there were no woodland creatures left for him to eat. All the surviving prey had fled from his monstrous appetite. Soon the talking wolf started to go mad with hunger, which is a big part of why he was developing a convoluted plan instead of just eating the little girl, which is what any other man-eating talking wolf would have done in that situation. Oh, Little Red Riding Hood, why don't you stop for a while? pick some flowers. I don't know. My mom told me not to stop. Oh, no, fine. Whatever. I guess I just thought you were cool. Wait, no, wait. Did you say flowers? I thought you said flowers. Yeah, I mean, yeah. Look, over there. You off the path. Yeah, no, I got it. Yeah, I'm cool. Whatever. Mom. Who cares, right? Awesome. Hey, listen, I gotta go for a little while, but I'll be right back. The wolf ran to grandmother's house and knocked on the door.
Hello? Is someone at the door?
It's me, Little Red Riding Hood. The grandmother, for reasons known only to her, completely believed the wolf. No sooner had she opened the door than the wolf swallowed her whole. Now, well may you ask yourself how a wolf, roughly the size of a very large dog, swallows a human being whole without any chewing at all. There is only one conceivable explanation. The wolf was part python on his mother's side. Meanwhile, Red had picked plenty of flowers, and she was continuing on to her grandmother's house. Come in, dearie. Red entered the cottage to find the wolf wearing her grandmother's clothing and lying in her grandmother's bed. Grandma! What big eyes you have! Oh, the better two. Wait, what? That is a really weird thing to say. Grandma! What big ears you have! Wow, okay. Way to get personal. You know, I'm actually really self-conscious about the size of my ears. Thanks for drawing attention to it. What the hell? What big teeth you have! Okay, now you're just being rude. Grandma! What a big belly you have! And it's moving! And it sounds like something is trying to get out! Okay. Look. I'm gonna be honest. I know this was my idea, but I did not really expect you to actually believe that I was your grandmother. I am clearly not an old woman. I expected you to be deeply disturbed, and obviously you are, just not in the way that I meant. So I'm going to go ahead and eat you now because I don't think we're gonna get anywhere with this conversation. Okay? The wolf ate Little Red Riding Hood and then tried to get to the pantry to eat everything else in the house. This turned out to be a lot harder than he expected on account of the fact that he now had a little old lady and a preteen alive in his stomach. A situation both of them found completely unacceptable. Stop moving around in there! I'm trying to digest you! At that very moment, a random woodcutter was walking by. He happened to glance into the cottage window and saw a wolf wearing old lady clothes, talking and punching his stomach, which was about twice as big as the rest of his body. It wasn't immediately clear what had happened, but it was very unusual and really unsettling, and the woodcutter was immediately filled with the desire to attack. Freeze, wolf! Dude, it's called knocking. You are weird looking, and you are doing strange things that make me uncomfortable. Have at thee! Before the wolf could react, the woodcutter had sliced open his belly with the axe. Little Red Riding Hood and her grandmother leapt out of the remains of the wolf. They were covered in the slimy contents of the wolf's digestive system. Demons! The wolf died a few minutes later. That is usually what happens when you cut something open, even if that something is a talking wolf python with an eating disorder. The woodcutter fled the cottage and never ever told anyone what had happened in case they thought he was crazy. Little Red Riding Hood and her grandmother spent the rest of their lives in therapy. Lots and lots of therapy. On the bright side, this incident made Little Red Riding Hood realize that life is short and you never know when a talking wolf is going to try to eat you. So she burned that terrible Little Red Riding Hood, and she started going around with a great big stick and hitting people repeatedly until they finally, thankfully, remembered to call her Harriet. And everyone else lived happily ever after. The end.